Greetings, beloved. I'm Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach here at the historic First United Methodist Church in downtown Elgin, Illinois, with another motivational moment from the Bible. These motivational moments are designed to help you take what you hear in church on Sunday, what you may learn in Sunday school, what you may even do during your private devotional time, to take those biblical concepts and to make them a part of your everyday life. This week, I want us to focus in on the idea, a mother like you, a mother like you. Now, let me say off the bat that as much celebration happens around Mother's Day is very hard for some people. It's hard because maybe they didn't have a good mother or they don't have a good relationship with their mother. Maybe there are some women who wanted to be mothers and are not. Maybe your mother is gone, right? Maybe she died at a young age. Mother's Day is hard for some people. I get it. So I'm not talking about that. I want to talk about how recognizing that mother love is missing in the lives of people and in the community, how we can help provide that kind of love. Let me see if I can explain. For Mother's Day, I took two texts to preach from. Esther chapter 1, where it tells us that Mordecai takes in Esther, who is an orphan, and raises her as his own daughter. Well, as any man will tell you, especially as girls get older, there are lots of things that they do not want to have to do in terms of helping their daughter get through some things. But it's not only Mordecai that helps to mother Esther, so to speak. We're also told that she's brought into the king's palace because, to see if she can be the queen in place of Vashti. And so she's brought into the king's palace and she goes through 6 months of beauty treatments and all that. And unlike the other girls, the eunuch in charge of that takes a shine to her, nurtures her, tells her what's the right things to do, how she should wear and carry herself. A eunuch. Then we're told that it's not only Mordecai and the eunuch, we're also told in Acts chapter 9 that there's a woman, Dorcas, who also goes by the name of Tabitha, Dorcas, who gathers a group of widows around her and nurtures them and sews for them and builds up the community so much that when she dies, that they send to a nearby community for Peter to come to raise her to new life. What's interesting about that are really two things that are very interesting about Dorcas. First, it says that there's a disciple, and that word for disciple in the Greek is only used one other place. It's used to describe the 12 apostles. And so here's Dorcas just taking care of a group of widows. And the Bible thinks enough of her and thinks enough of her ministry to equate it with the ministry of the apostles. Gives you something to think about. The other thing that's very interesting is that Dorcas was probably a widow herself. And rather than wallow in her own pity or look at what she didn't have, she found a way to mother another group of widows. Beloved, those are not the only instances where we're told that there are people who fulfill the mothering function. Naomi does that for Ruth. And Naomi, we can speculate, is such a mother to Ruth that Ruth would rather take her lot with Naomi, who is a widow and poor and broke, rather than stay at home and follow the traditions of her family. We're also told in the Gospels that Jesus, crying over Jerusalem, says to Jerusalem, as a mother hen gathers her chicks in, how I long to gather you in. How I long to bring you in and to help you be safe. How I long to help tell you who you really are. How I long to comfort you. How I long to tell you that you don't have to live like this. Beloved, over and over, we're told throughout the scriptures that not only biological mothers, but there is a great mothering function that all of us can play. Now, I know in my own life and in my own tradition, we have an expanded idea of mothers. In the African tradition, those African traditions were primarily, a lot of them were matriarchal societies where women had very prominent positions, maybe not so much now, but earlier on. And so in the Black church tradition, we have what are called mothers of the church. Those are the women who are older and they sit in a special place, a place of honor, because we know that those are the women who nurture, who comfort, who provide wise advice to the laity and to the clergy. Those women who love us enough to correct us and love us always to encourage us, to help us be our best selves. Those women who love to cook and who know that tissue, a cookie, something can bring, may just be the little bit of nurturing that we need at any point in time. Not only that, as I think about my own life, my mom was at home for most of the time I was growing up. And so I didn't worry about that. And I think of the sacrifices my mother made to get me where I am. But I also am thinking today about the other women that God raised up in my life to be mom. I remember I moved 800 miles away from home and moved to Ohio to start a very new job, fresh out of graduate school, and really didn't know anybody there. And a woman at my church, Sister Shirley Johnson, and her husband became, Brother George Johnson, became like parents to me. They brought me in their home, set a place at their table where I was expected to be there every week, just like their sons. Nurtured me, mothered me, believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. I think about when I came to Illinois to begin this journey that eventually led me here. Started seminary, not really sure what God was going to do with me. And as a part of that seminary experience, had to go and be like a student pastor, serving under a more seasoned pastor. And at that church, African-American woman, Emma Clay, took me in, set a place for me, made me her own, encouraged me and loved me enough to tell me when my stuff wasn't right. Wisdom about how to pastor and how to understand things. Wisdom about how the church is led. Mother wit is what we call that in the Black church. I think about, too, as I began my studies for the doctoral program, think of people like Angela Current Felder and Karen Collier. I think about those kind of women. I think about women who big sistered me and kind of became mother to me. I think about today about Mary Stewart Pellegrini, who treats me as a little sister, but in many ways nurtures me and mothers me. You all, I know how God works, and I would bet that God has surrounded us in places with a mother's love. Maybe not the love of our biological mother, but God has often sent someone to provide that for us. So my challenge for all of us this week I have three. First, if you have a good mother or someone that's been like a mother to you, I invite you to pick up a phone, send a note, let her know what she means to you. If you see a young mom that's struggling, single mom that's having some difficulty, maybe your sister or somebody's going through a lot trying to take care of their parents and take care of their kids at the same time. Maybe someone is trying to mother community. Maybe you have mothers in the church too. Won't you pick up the phone and write a note, send it to that woman? For those of us who have had bad experiences around mothering, for whom today or this past Sunday was really hard, I want to offer you a challenge as well. Would you ask God to open your eyes so you can see where he's placed mothering love around you? And if you can't see that, if you say, God, I don't see that, Pastor Felicia, I can't see that, there's no women around me to do that, then I invite you to ask God to do that for you. The scripture says in the Psalms, I think it's either Psalm 54 or Psalm 45, I can't remember. There's a beautiful verse that says that God places the lonely in families. In families means that we can be in a place where we can be loved and have that mother's love. Won't you ask God to place you in that kind of family and that kind of relationship and come around you and nurture you with that kind of love? And if that is not enough for you, then ask God to gather you in like a mother hen gathers her chicks, and help you to experience his grace and his mercy and his mothering love. Beloved, I pray that you will stick around for this week's song. It's called A Mother Like You. It's from the East Side Christian Church, their praise team. They are in California, but I know you're going to be blessed by it. Beloved, I'm Dr. Felicia LaBoy, lead pastor and life coach here at the historic First United Methodist Church in downtown Elgin, Illinois, with another motivational moment from the Bible. Be blessed. I love you, and I'll see you here next week.
You gave me joy in your kitchen. You gave me the room with a view of the yard. Wherever the hurt, you knew right where to kiss it. You gave me the best of your heart. And you carried my rocks in your pocket. Flowers and feathers and butterfly wings. And you had an answer for all of my questions. You showed me wonderful things. And I know that it hasn't been easy. I hope that I love like you do, 'cause I know that this world would be better if everyone had a mother like you. And you make the best macaroni, and we never cared that it came from the box. The mom in the stands, always clapping her hands, was cheering and still hasn't stopped. And you held me when I came home crying, 'cause someone said something that just wasn't true. And I always said that Janelle was my best friend, but really it's always been you. And I know that I haven't been easy. I hope that I love like you do, 'cause I know that this world would be better if everyone had a mother like you. A mother like you. Second was born in September. I still can't believe I have kids of my own. I look in their eyes and I can't help but wonder, who will they be when they're grown? And I know it won't always be easy. I hope I can love like you do, 'cause I know that my kids will be better if they have a mother like you. If I am a mother like you, 'cause I had a mother like you. A mother